Hello children, how are you all? Welcome to digital classes. Dear children, in the last class we have studied about chemical reactions, chemical equations and balancing of chemical equations. Children, today we are going to learn about making chemical equation more informative. Children, how do we make the chemical equation more informative? Usually a chemical equation give more information by adding the characteristics of reactants and products in a chemical equations. So a chemical equation can be made more informative by adding physical state, heat changes, gas evolved and precipitate formed, and also catalyst used in a chemical reaction. How do we express the physical state? Expressing the physical state. See children, during the chemical reaction most of the reactants will be in different physical states. Some will be in gases, some will be in liquid, some will be in solid state and some will be in the form of aqueous solution. For representing the gases we use notation G, and similarly for representing the liquids we use notation L, and for representing the solid the notation S is used, and for representing the aqueous solution the notation AQ is used. Children, now let us write a chemical equation by adding the physical states. Here we have a chemical equation which we are familiar with this. Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives rise to Fe plus Al2O3. Children, you can find here both aluminum and iron both are solid states. We are familiar that aluminum is a solid, iron is a solid. Similarly, iron oxide, it is a powder, means solid. Aluminum oxide is also powder, it means it is also solid. So all the reactants and products are in solid state. We can add a subscript S, because for solids the notation is what? S. So along with the chemical formula we need to write a subscript S. See now, Fe2O3 S plus 2 aluminum S gives rise to Fe symbol subscript S plus Al2O3, here also subscript S, because all are solids, that is why we have written a physical state solid for all the reactants and products. Now let us see another equation where we can find all the kinds of physical states. Sodium is a solid, H2O means water, it is liquid. Sodium hydroxide is an aqueous solution and hydrogen is a gas. Now let us make a chemical equation more informative. See 2Na solid, because it is solid, that is why you have written S, plus 2H2O, as water is liquid we are writing L, gives rise to NaOH, as it is aqueous solution we are writing the AQ, plus H2, as it is a gas we are writing the G. So therefore like this, by adding the physical states we can make a chemical equation more informative. Now expressing the heat changes. Dear children, now let us watch a video. We have to take the room temperature, it is 25 degree Celsius. Let us take a small beaker and add a dilute hydrochloric acid in the small beaker and add a sodium hydroxide solution to the beaker. Now you can observe that reaction between hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, and if you test with the thermometer you can find that increase in the temperature. Previously it was 25 degrees Celsius, now you can notice that the temperature has been increased up to 50 degree Celsius. So as the heat is released in this reaction we can say that it is exothermic reaction. Let us do another activity. For doing this activity we have to take barium hydroxide and ammonium chloride. When we add ammonium chloride to the barium hydroxide, it forms barium chloride and water, and also it liberates ammonia gas. During this reaction, the temperature of the reaction mixture decreases. It indicates that the energy, heat energy is absorbed for occurring of this chemical reaction. Therefore, the reaction can be said to be as endothermic reaction. What is exothermic reaction? The chemical reaction in which heat energy releases is known as exothermic reaction. Then what is endothermic reaction? The chemical reaction in which heat energy absorbs is known as endothermic reaction. Children, in the previous activity we have seen that hydrochloric acid reacted with sodium hydroxide to give sodium chloride and water, and in this reaction heat energy is released. So that is why the equation can be written as HCl AQ plus NaOH AQ gives rise NaCl AQ plus H2O liquid plus Q. See here, Q indicates the heat quantity which is released or absorbed during the chemical reaction. Here in this reaction we have written in the form of plus Q. Plus Q indicates release of heat. As heat is released in this reaction, it is exothermic reaction. Children, in another activity we have seen that barium hydroxide reacted with ammonium chloride to form barium chloride, water and ammonia, and during this reaction heat is absorbed. That is why the equation can be written in the form of BaOH taken twice plus 2NH4Cl plus gives rise BaCl2 plus 2H2O plus 2NH3 minus Q. Remember here we have written that minus Q. For the previous reaction we have written plus Q. Here also Q indicates heat quantity, but minus Q indicates absorption of heat. Therefore, it is known as endothermic reaction. See children, the chemical reaction in which heat energy releases is known as exothermic, and the chemical reaction in which heat energy absorbed is known as endothermic reaction. Expressing the gas evolved. Dear children, some of the chemical reactions will occur by the evolution of gas. Now let us watch a video. For doing this activity we need zinc granules. These are zinc granules, and let us take and now add dilute hydrochloric acid. Dilute hydrochloric acid. While adding the dilute hydrochloric acid, you can observe a vigorous reaction will take place and it liberates a colorless gas. You can see here a colorless gas is evolving. And what is that colorless gas? That colorless gas will put off the burning matchstick. Therefore, we can say that it is hydrogen gas. Dear children, in this activity zinc reacted with hydrochloric acid and it evolved hydrogen gas. So, whenever a gas is evolved in a chemical reaction, then it is denoted by an upward arrow mark, or it can be denoted with the symbol G. If gases are releasing in any chemical reaction, they should be indicated with upward arrow mark, or it can be indicated with the symbol G. Now let us write the chemical equation for the above activity. Zinc, it is a solid, plus 2HCl, it is aqueous solution, gives rise ZnCl2, it is also aqueous solution, plus H2, it liberates hydrogen gas, indicating upward arrow mark. Or you can also write it zinc plus HCl gives rise ZnCl2 plus hydrogen gas. Here beside hydrogen gas you can write the symbol G. G indicate the evolution of hydrogen gas, expressing the physical states. Dear children, some of the chemical reactions will take place by the formation of precipitate. Let us see an activity. For doing this activity we need sodium chloride, silver nitrate. First, let us take sodium chloride salt into a test tube, add a little amount of water so that sodium chloride will dissolve and it give the clear solution. Keep this test tube aside. Now take the silver nitrate solution, another test tube. Now add a silver nitrate solution to the sodium chloride solution and observe it. You can find a white color precipitate. This white color precipitate is silver chloride precipitate. Sodium chloride solution reacted with the silver nitrate solution and it has given white precipitate of silver chloride. So, if a precipitate is formed in a chemical reaction, then it is denoted by a downward arrow. So, now let us write the chemical equation for the above activity. AgNO3, it is an aqueous solution, plus NaCl, it is also aqueous solution, gives rise AgCl, it is a solid and it is precipitated, that is why it is indicated with the downward arrow mark, plus sodium nitrate, it is also aqueous solution, expressing the catalyst. Dear children, some of the chemical reactions will take place in presence of catalyst. So, do you know what is catalyst? A catalyst is a substance that increases the speed of rate of a chemical reaction, but it does not participate in the reaction. I will repeat, a catalyst is a substance that increases the speed of the rate of chemical reaction, but it does not participate in the chemical reaction. Children, it involves in the reaction, but it does not consume. Without this catalyst, reaction may take place very slowly. In presence of this catalyst, reactions will take place fastly. So, that is catalyst. Let us watch a video. Vegetable oils are polyunsaturated fats. Unsaturation means having double bonds. These hydrocarbon molecules are having many number of carbon-carbon double bonds, and due to the presence of these double bonds, vegetable oils are in liquid state at room temperature. By the addition of hydrogen for these unsaturated hydrocarbon molecules, they will be converted into saturated. The addition of hydrogen takes place in presence of nickel catalyst at 60 degrees Celsius. This process is called hydrogenation. Due to hydrogenation, fats are hardened and the melting point of the fats will be increases, and so that they will be solids at room temperature. The addition of hydrogen takes place in presence of nickel catalyst. A catalyst is indicated above or below the arrow in the chemical equation. Now let us write chemical equation for the above activity. In this previous activity, oil is added with hydrogen in presence of nickel catalyst to gives fat. So, here nickel is acting as a catalyst and it is indicated above the arrow mark. Here you can find it. One more example, the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes to form water and oxygen, and this decomposition will increases by adding the MnO2, manganese dioxide, as a catalyst. Due to the addition of catalyst, the rate of chemical reaction will be increases. Here MnO2 is the catalyst, that is why it is indicated on arrow mark. Other factors that affect the chemical reactions. Sometimes chemical reactions occur in the presence of pressure, temperature, concentration and sunlight. These are also indicated above or below the arrow mark like a catalyst. For example, AgCl decomposes to form Ag and chlorine, and this will be takes place in presence of sunlight. So that is why here sunlight is indicated above the arrow mark. And one more example which is familiar to all, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis reaction also takes place in presence of sunlight. Here 6CO2 plus 6H2O gives rise C6H12O6 plus 6O2. This reaction also takes place in presence of sunlight in chlorophyll. These reactions are taking place in presence of sunlight, that is why these reactions are said to be as photochemical reactions. Dear children, till now we have studied how a chemical equation can be made more informative by writing the physical states, by mentioning the energy changes, and by indicating the evolution of gases, and by indicating the precipitate, and by writing the catalyst used in a chemical reaction. A balanced chemical equation gives information about the relative masses of reactants and products. It also gives the information about the ratio of number of molecules of reactants and products. It also says the molar ratio of reactants and products. We will also get the information, the relation between molar mass and molar volume of reactants and products. Dear children, in class 9 you have studied about mole concept. Do you know what is 1 mole? 1 mole means Avogadro number of molecule. Avogadro number means 6.023 into 10 power 23 molecules. 1 mole means it is equal to 22.4 liters of volume. 1 mole means 1 gram molecule. Similarly, you can correlate like this also. 1 gram molecule means it is equal to 1 mole. 1 gram molecule means Avogadro number of molecules. 1 gram molecule means 22.4 liters of volume. Similarly, 22.4 liters of any gas at STP condition is equal to 1 mole. It is also equal to Avogadro number of molecules. It is also equal to 1 gram molecules. Children, based on these relations, we can calculate the quantity of reactants and products which are absorbed or which are required during a chemical reaction, and the quantity of products which are formed during a chemical reaction. Now let us do a numerical problem. Calculate the volume, mass and number of molecule of hydrogen liberated when 230 grams of sodium react with excess of water at STP. Children, do you know what is STP? Standard temperature and pressure. What is standard temperature? Standard temperature is 273 kelvins, or it is also equal to 0 degrees Celsius. Then what is standard pressure? 1 atmospheric pressure or 760 mm of Hg is known as standard pressure. Here also given atomic mass of sodium, that is 23 units, oxygen 16 units and hydrogen 1 unit. Now let us solve the problem. To do the solution for this problem, first we need to write a balanced chemical equation. In that equation, what he said, sodium is reacting with water. So now let us write the chemical equation between sodium and water. 2Na plus 2H2O gives rise to NaOH plus H2. It is a balanced chemical equation. From this equation, we can get the information that 46 grams of sodium is equal to 2 grams of hydrogen. Then 230 grams of sodium is equal to how many grams of hydrogen? To get the answer, we need to cross multiply. Therefore, number of grams of hydrogen is equal to 230 grams into 2 grams divided by 46 grams. So that you will get the answer as 10 grams of hydrogen. Here you got that 10 grams of hydrogen. The mass of hydrogen liberated is 10 grams. We know that at STP 2 grams of hydrogen is equal to 22.4 liters. Then 10 grams of hydrogen is equal to how many liters of hydrogen? So that equal to number of liters of hydrogen equal to 22.4 liters into 10 grams divided by 2 grams. By solving this, you will get 112 liters of hydrogen. It means in the above reaction, the volume of gas liberated is 112 liters of hydrogen. Now let us calculate the number of molecules. 2 grams of hydrogen equal to 1 mole of hydrogen. It means 2 grams of hydrogen equal to 6.02 into 10 power 23 molecules of hydrogen. Now 10 grams of hydrogen equal to how many molecules of hydrogen? To get that answer, here also we need to cross multiply. The number of molecules of hydrogen equal to 6.02 into 10 power 23 into 10 grams divided by 2 grams. On solving, you will get that 30.10 into 10 power 23 molecules or 3.01 into 10 power 24 molecules. Let us learn about limiting reagent. Do you know, children, what is limiting reagent? Whenever a chemical reaction takes place, to complete that reaction we need all the reactants in the required quantity, but sometimes any one reactant may be present in the smaller quantity. The reactant which is present in smaller quantity is known as limiting reagent. So that can be defined as the reactant available in less amount is called limiting reagent, as it limits the amount of product formed during a chemical reaction. Now let us do a numerical problem based on the concept of limiting reagent. Numerical 2. Calculate the volume and number of molecules of carbon dioxide liberated at STP. If 50 grams of calcium carbonate is liberated with dilute hydrochloric acid which contains 7.3 grams of dissolved hydrochloric acid gas. To do this problem, we need a balanced chemical equation. Now let us write a balanced chemical equation for the above problem. It is calcium carbonate CaCO3 plus 2HCl gives rise CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. It is a balanced chemical equation. As per this equation, 100 grams of calcium carbonate required 73 grams of HCl to liberate 44 grams of carbon dioxide. Children, here why we are writing 100 grams of calcium carbonate? Because the molecular mass of calcium carbonate is 100 grams. Here 1 mole of calcium carbonate is involved. That is why we are taking 100 grams of calcium carbonate. And there are 2 moles of hydrochloric acid. For each mole of hydrochloric acid, molecular mass is 36.5. So we are multiplying that with 2, so that we are getting 73 grams of hydrochloric acid. Therefore 100 grams of calcium carbonate require 73 grams of hydrochloric acid to liberate 44 grams of carbon dioxide. Here 44 is the molecular mass of the carbon dioxide. Here 1 mole of carbon dioxide is there, that is why we are taking 44 grams only. So the amount of calcium carbonate taken in is 50 grams and the HCl available is 7.3 grams. See, this information we are getting that from the numerical problem which were given. Now 50 grams of calcium carbonate requires 36.5 grams of hydrochloric acid to complete the reaction, but available hydrochloric acid is only 7.3 grams. Children, you focus here. The calcium carbonate taken is 50 grams and the required quantity, actually required quantity is 36.5 grams, but the available quantity is only 7.3 grams. From this we can understand hydrochloric acid is the limiting reagent in the above reaction. So we need to calculate by using the hydrochloric acid only. As per the equation, 73 grams of hydrochloric acid is equal to 44 grams of carbon dioxide. Then 7.3 grams of HCl equal to how many grams of carbon dioxide? By cross multiplying you will get that answer, that is equal to 44 grams into 7.3 grams divided by 73 grams. On solving you will get the answer 4.4 grams of carbon dioxide. Now at STP 44 grams of carbon dioxide equal to 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide. Children, why it is equal to 22.4 liters? Because 44 grams of carbon dioxide means it is equal to 1 mole. 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liters of volume. So that is why we are taken that 44 grams of carbon dioxide equal to 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide. Then 4.4 grams of carbon dioxide equal to how many liters of carbon dioxide? To get that answer we have to cross multiply. So number of liters of carbon dioxide equal to 22.4 liters into 4.4 grams divided by 44 grams. So that on solving you will get that answer, that is equal to 2.24 liters of carbon dioxide. 44 grams of carbon dioxide equal to 6.02 into 10 power 23 molecules of carbon dioxide. 4.4 grams of carbon dioxide is equal to how many molecules of carbon dioxide? This will get by doing the cross multiplication. Here 6.023 into 10 power 23 divided by 4.04. 6.023 into 10 power 23 into 4.4 divided by 44 grams. On solving you will get the answer like 6.02 into 10 power 22 molecules of carbon dioxide. So in today's class what we have learnt? We studied about how to represent the physical state of reactants and products. We also studied about how to represent the release of heat or absorption of heat, and also we studied about the representing the gas evolved and precipitate formed. For better understanding of the concepts, solve the worksheets. Please visit the official website of SIET Telangana for worksheets. Thank you children. Have a nice day.
డిజిటల్ తరగతులు చూస్తున్న ఉపాధ్యాయులకు